Hello, you're watching The Spirit Journey, where we talk about entrepreneurship, spirituality, and personal growth. Today's video is going to be about your first sale. Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to start a business of some kind? Getting your first sale is really invigorating for an entrepreneur. If you think about it, most people have never sold anything of their own. Like, most people have a certain career path that they go down, that they're a nurse or they're a doctor or they are a graphic designer, but maybe they've never made something and sold it themselves. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, selling something is really revolutionary because you're like, oh my gosh, like I can do this, like I can sell something. And then from there, you just have to sell more and you have to figure out how to sell greater volumes of whatever you've just sold in order to be massively profitable. So if you've never sold anything and you just want to get comfortable with the idea of selling, maybe consider getting a job in sales. I know a lot of entrepreneurs have worked in sales, like Grant Cardone worked in sales, Alex Hormozy sold gym memberships for a long time. So I actually did a day in a sales job and I felt like I didn't believe in the product, so I quit that job. But I might go back to working in sales at some point and try to pick a product that I believe in so that I can sell it with conviction. So another reason why you want to get your first sale really early is because you want to break entrepreneurship down to its simplest possible process ever. So like when I was in college, I was studying computer science. So I thought that the way to do business was to build an app and have 1 billion people use it and then run ads to monetize the app or something like that. That is really, really difficult to do. If you think about venture capital and startups in general, about 1 in 10 venture-backed startups will succeed. So you're already playing a game that only 10% of people who are playing that game are going to win at. So doing something simpler when you're starting out, just understanding business from its simplest elements might really help you. So I'm going to talk about everything that I've sold in my entrepreneurial career so far, which is not a lot of stuff, but it's enough to have some idea about how to sell something. And I'm going to tell you about how I achieved each sale. So in college, I started a fashion company and I sold 7 sweatshirts. I was making the sweatshirts myself with a sewing machine because I know how to sew pretty well. And I sold 7 sweatshirts by posting on Facebook. So I didn't know anything about digital advertising. I didn't know anything about really how to market on social media in any relatively interesting way. So I literally just took the website that I made on Squarespace, I posted it on Facebook, and 7 of my friends and family bought sweatshirts. So one thing that I did after the sweatshirt company that didn't make me any money is I spent a lot of time trying to become Instagram famous. So I was posting a lot of pictures on Instagram and I had a couple thousand followers, but nothing major. And people kept sending me free products, but no one wanted to pay me for ads or anything like that. So if you're pursuing something like that, think about how you can invest less time and get more for your learning. Social media is a long-term game. The more that I hear from people who are successful at social media, it takes 5 to 10 years to build a significant following, unless you get lucky and go viral, or maybe you're amazing at producing content. So that's something I wasted a lot of time on, so I just wanted to caution you guys about that and being careful about not wasting time on social media. So then I actually started dropshipping. I bought a dropshipping course and it was kind of expensive and I didn't make the money back that I spent on the course. But I did find the digital marketing information in the dropshipping course to be very valuable. So for those of you that don't know what dropshipping is, it's when you create a website using Shopify or some other website building platform, but usually Shopify. And you go on Alibaba, which is the Amazon of China, and you find a cheaply priced product that you can buy 1 of or 2 of. And let's say, for example, I was selling a speaker, so a musical speaker for parties and things like that. and the product will be priced at like 20 bucks or something on Alibaba, and then you create a website on Shopify and you sell that product for like 40 or 60 bucks. So you're pocketing the difference between what the product is selling for on Alibaba and what your customer is paying for the product. So in my experience doing dropshipping, I sold like maybe 10 or 12 speakers, and I broke even. So I spent like $1,000 on ads and I made $1,000 in profit from selling the speakers. So I decided to shut down the operation because I like wasn't passionate about it. I didn't really see it going very far for me. And I was kind of just spending a lot of money on ads, and I didn't like shipping stuff from China, like plastic speakers, that I wasn't really that confident in the product. So yeah, I felt like there were better ways to make money than dropshipping. But I love dropshipping because it did teach me about sales and about digital marketing. And if you are new to entrepreneurship and you need to get started doing something, try dropshipping. Like hands down, like I, in college, started with my sweatshirt company, and like 3 or 4 years later, starting dropshipping, I wish that in college someone would have taught me dropshipping. Because you learn to run ads. Like I was running Facebook ads and Instagram ads and YouTube ads, and any like moron who knows how to run ads can make a sale. You might not make sales profitably because you're spending money on ads, but if you have 1,000 people look at an offer that you've presented, it's highly likely that like someone is going to buy from you. So learn to run ads. Learn to set up a Shopify store. It costs like 30 bucks a month to set up a Shopify store. And then you know like how to create an e-commerce store, and maybe you'll love it. Like some people make a ton of money dropshipping, and you might feel like this is for me. Like I don't want to create my own brand. Like I don't really want to start like a tech company or start something with more lasting value. I just want to do a dropshipping store. And if you love that kind of thing, do it. Like I'm not saying dropshipping isn't great. I learned a lot from it. So try that out if you want to make your first sale. Like figure out how to run Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and even maybe YouTube ads, and find a product on Alibaba that's like cheaply priced that you think you could sell for more, and create a Shopify store and make your first sale. So after trying dropshipping, I realized that I had this really cool new skill, which is running digital ads on Facebook and Instagram. I was like, cool, okay, what did I not like about dropshipping? I didn't really like fulfilling product. This sounds really basic, but you have to go into Alibaba and ship stuff to people. And I kind of felt like shipping stuff was bad for the environment, like it's plastic, it's not recyclable, like the whole manufacturing in China thing, I didn't really like that. So I was like, what can I sell that I won't have to ship? So I was like, what about a digital product? So I ended up selling an online course for coding. So I was like, what do I know how to do that I could teach? And I know how to build websites. I learned that in college. So, I didn't learn that in college. I learned that at a coding boot camp. But in the years of college, I learned how to build websites. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a course on how to build websites. And so I did, and I started running ads for it, and I sold one course. That's not a lot, but I did sell something. I was spending more on the ads than the course sold for. So I stopped running the ads. But the one customer that I did have was amazing. He asked me a bunch of questions, which made me think that it wasn't very scalable because I had to answer like coding questions and stuff. So if you do create a course, consider like creating a course that people aren't going to get stuck on. So maybe creating a course on like filmmaking or something that you don't have to answer a bunch of questions. Like coding is really hard to learn. And so a lot of people have questions along the way. Their code isn't working, it's not compiling, so they have to ask questions to keep moving throughout the course. So, but digital products are awesome. And so selling something digital, it just ships. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to fulfill any orders. So think about Google like digital products to sell, and you'll find a list of like all the things that are digital that people buy. So this is currently my favorite thing that I've ever sold, printable wall decor on Etsy. So I put a bunch of listings up with different words like joy and the definition of joy, hope and the definition of hope, peace and the definition of peace. I've made 2 sales on Etsy so far, and I love selling on Etsy because I don't have to do any marketing. The platform has just kind of shown my listings to people. I don't have to run digital ads, so I'm not going to be unprofitable, right? Because if you're spending more on ads and people are paying for your product, then you're actually running an unprofitable business. So Etsy naturally markets the content. and there's no fulfillment that I have to do. So basically, if someone buys a digital print from my store, they download it, they print it themselves. I don't have to ship anything. I don't have to do any fulfillment. And so I'm loving this business model, and I'm gonna keep uploading to Etsy, and hopefully more people will find my store and purchase from my digital print shop. So another thing that you should think about doing if you've never done it before and you want to be an entrepreneur is try freelancing. So if you're working for a company or you're working for McDonald's or something like that, you're plugging into someone else's system and you're providing like work for their general system, and you're not really in charge of the system at all. But freelancing is where you trade your time for money, but you're in charge, you're your own boss. So if you go on Upwork.com, I've used Upwork a lot, or freelancer.com, or even just find clients through friends and family and your network, maybe post on LinkedIn that you're available for services, something like that. I've worked as a graphic designer as a freelancer, so on Upwork I search for like app design, website design, mobile design, poster design, any kind of graphic design work, and then I've traded my time for money in that way. And if you want to be an entrepreneur and you've never done any freelance work or consulting work, definitely try that, because it'll just teach you kind of how to be your own boss. And it's like this kind of moment where you're like, oh my gosh, like I can make money without having a boss, you know? So if you've never freelanced before, try that out. So yeah, definitely if you want to be an entrepreneur, try to get your first sale at some point and then figure out how to scale that. And obviously, like, I think at first it's okay to do it unprofitably. So if at first you're running ads on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and that's how you're getting your sales, I think that's completely fine. Just get your first sale, because then you'll figure out like, okay, I need to find a way to do this at scale and to make more money. So anyway, that's my take on getting your first sale. If you have already sold a lot of stuff, let me know in the comments. If you are on your way to getting your first sale, let me know where you're at. I hope that everyone learns to sell stuff and gets their first sales. So I hope you found this video helpful to you, and these are some of my paintings in the background. I'm also an artist. So if you'd like to buy a painting, check out the website in the description and you can purchase from there. All right, I'm really glad that you guys took the time to hang out with me today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.